Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking a lot about Ethereum, their proof of work, aka mining algorithm, the mining devices that have previously been the best on their mining network, and what is the best now and what kind of the future looks like. We're going to talk about ProgPoW. Okay, what is that, what it means, and really what it's all going to boil down to is today we're going to go into how Ethereum has been the most profitable coin to mine for really a couple years. It has been the most influential, it's the most important coin when it comes to mining, like really all coins. And I know the first thing that people want to say is that no, like this coin's been more profitable here, or this coin's been way more profitable, or I made a lot more money mining this over that. And look, I'm not saying that Ethereum is the all-time, every single day most profitable coin to mine, but what I can say is that once we lost GPU mining, okay, graphics card mining, and that's what the whole purpose of Ethereum mining was. If anyone forgot, okay, it was GPU mined for a specific reason. They wanted better distribution of the coins, unlike the ASIC miners, application specific integrated circuit miners, things like the Antminers. These are purpose-built machines basically by shady China companies that well, you know, they're just for mining. But graphics cards are a multi-purpose device. You probably have one in, or you do have one in your gaming computer. I mean, crap, you got one in your freaking Xbox. Okay, so graphics cards are everywhere. It's distributed hardware. Guess what you don't have in your house unless you're a crypto miner? You don't have an ASIC miner. Okay, it's not like, oh, you're gonna go over to your buddy's house and be like, hey man, I heard you got a nice gaming computer. Does that mine Bitcoin? No. It mines other things that could potentially be converted to that, but whatever, that's a whole different story. So I guess since I'm already on this little bit of a rant and a tangent, I just want to give a brief background. Basically, Ethereum mining came about when they launched their blockchain in 2016. A lot of people built a lot of GPU mining rigs to do this. They mined not only a lot of money, okay, like it was profitable the entire time, more than, when I say profitable, mining a coin is profitable every day if you are mining more of that coin in dollars. Like say, you know, it cost you $1, but you mine $2 of coins. It's $1 profitable. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say it's profitable. But not only was it profitable, right? Okay, so you were making more money on dollars than you were spending on electric, but you were mining just seriously a lot of freaking coins. And that was the big appeal. And that was the big appeal to me when I got into this, and I got into GPU mining in early 2017, because not only was, you know, profitable in dollars, but I was honestly mining a lot of coin.
So I bought a pre-built mining rig from Mining Cave with 6 RX 470s. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I was like, I want to get in the game. I made a lot of money with that rig because luckily I mined some Ethereum right before it shot up.
Nowadays, in comparison, once ASIC miners came to Ethereum and kind of took over the network and people still GPU mine it, you know, yeah, you can turn a profit, right? But you're making maybe $1 or $2 over what you're paying in electric every day on these rigs that cost thousands of dollars for your participation. You're not mining that many actual coins, so your upside is incredibly limited to what it used to be. And a lot of people either don't realize that or want to overlook that or in denial or whatever, but it's a serious issue. It's not as appealing to mine Ethereum for very many reasons now. And I'm going to go more into that into today's video and why Ethereum mining is just so important to crypto as a whole, especially mining as a whole, and extremely vital to GPU mining. Unfortunately, for some freaking reason, a lot of people don't realize that, even though when Ethereum came out in their white paper or whatever, it said ASIC resistant. Okay, that's implied that you're going to stay ASIC resistant. It's not like I say, hey, my car has good gas mileage, and you buy it because it has good gas mileage. You're buying that car because you like the gas mileage, and if that gas mileage changed dramatically later, you'd be upset because you bought it under the impression that it had good gas mileage. I don't know if that's a good example, but that's kind of how I feel. And I'm a car guy. I'm not even the dude who cares about gas mileage. I ruin the MPGs on all my cars. So whatever, 10 seconds of Tails, our beautiful Shiba Inu. Roll on the intro, and let's jump into today's crazy video. Alright guys, so right now Ethereum is trading at $223 or 0.0255 Bitcoin or Satoshis there. And today we're going to be examining the current mining profitability for Ethereum, what's the best hardware for it, and just kind of how things have changed. And we're going to look at ProgPoW and how this can potentially, at a minimum, it's probably going to help, but we're going to explain, well, why, and really the benefits here and the lack of downsides on it. So this is ASIC miner value. It ranks, it's just a profit calculator. None of the stuff's set in stone. This is all calculated with a 10 cent per hour per kilowatt hour electric rate, and what that basically is like a standard US residential electric rate. Okay, so this is the Innosilicon A10 ETH Master. There's a couple of different models, 545, 432, and I think there was even a 300 something model. And yeah, so these things are pretty freaking profitable right now. Ethereum's had a nice little run compared to what it was before, and they've just really been profitable the whole time. There's also the Antminer E3 Ethash ASIC miner, aka Ethereum ASIC miner, right? But thanks to the DAG, it is giving the Antminer E3 some problem mining it. However, that means that the A10s have become much more profitable. We got a full review on that if you want to check out, our thoughts on that miner. And then let's just, take a brief look at this. We have 6 2070s. We can see that's more or less like a standard GPU mining rig configuration here in 2020. Not something a lot of people have very many rigs of because it just hasn't been that profitable to GPU mine, and you're going to build out less and less rigs because of that. I know a lot of people will still be running 1070s, 1070 Ti's, 1080s, 1080 Ti's, 660 Ti's, and whatever. But anyway, it's going to give you a good idea. So we're looking at some coins with some decent value, or not value, volume here. And you can see there are some coins that are more profitable, as at this current snapshot to mine than Ethereum. The key factor here is going to be volume though. Okay, so we've got Grin at 368 Bitcoin volume. All of these, they're not even 30, and we've got Zcoin over here with about 55 Bitcoin in volume. But what do you see when you look at Ethereum and even Ethereum Classic? What do you see in volume? 76,000 Bitcoin in volume, almost 1,000 Bitcoins in volume. Beam has a lot of volume, really, which is actually higher than Ethereum Classic right now, which is cool to see, honestly. But anyway, the point here is that you add all these other coins on this list, you add them all together, even if they've got some fake trading or wash trading or what the freak ever, they don't hold a candle just to Ethereum's daily trading volume. So this is the fact that this is the baseline of GPU mining, and it's not in its majority ASIC mined right now, which I'll get to here in a little bit. So the backbone of GPU mining and GPU mining profitability is not even mainly mined by GPUs. Just let that sink in, and how important Ethereum is to GPU mining. And I know some people may be like, oh, Vos, like you just want to protect GPU mining and you just care about that, and this is self-serving and whatever. No, I care about GPU mining, okay, because it's what got me into cryptocurrency. It's what pushed me to take the jump. I don't care, you forget about this stuff when you've been into cryptocurrency for a while, but it's a weird concept. It's a little frightening. It's not obviously the norm. Digital currency over here that's backed by the blockchain, a ledger, and it's mined by these computers, and you don't think they could just maybe make it disappear until you really learn more about it and analyze the code and everything that goes into it and realize like it truly is immutable and freaking awesome. Having some tangible hardware to bridge that gap between what the freak is this and I want to get into this and learn more about it is what helped me take the leap. I was like, I can get into cryptocurrency. Instead of just buying coins, I can buy some parts, I can build some mining rigs, and I have this tangible hardware that I can sell if I want to or need to, and then I can acquire these coins and these projects that seem interesting, and then maybe sell some of those coins and break even on my hardware, and then everything is basically free, right? Or you have that break-even point, and it became more beneficial to have a mining rig instead of just buying coins, because say $2,000 is only going to buy you X coins, period. That's it. I know there's a lot more staking options now in DeFi and all, and whatever. I'm not going to go down that road, but the point is that you spend $2,000, say you get 200 coins, or you can spend $2,000 and get a mining rig, and once you mine 200 coins, and say you even just sell them and you break even. Now, every coin additional you mine is basically free. I know you have to pay your electric and whatever, but like that's the whole point of mining and the appeal. If there wasn't a benefit, then why wouldn't we all just buy coins? Clearly, I love mining and I'm a big advocate for it. And the grassroots approach of mining is like, it's such a massive appeal to get people into cryptocurrency, to get them into projects, to get them into the project you like. If you can't understand why any form of mining is more appealing than non, or none. And then also just how GPU mining is so much more interesting, because I could have a gaming computer. I could tell my buddy who's got a gaming computer, hey man, just turn that on overnight, get some of these coins, read more about it in your spare time. I mean, you don't think that's gonna get more people interested into your project than say, hey, why don't you buy this $2,000 machine from China that they've been mining with for a while that you may or may not break even in maybe like 1 to 2 or 3 years. If you get lucky, it also uses a ton of power, may not even fit on one of your standard circuits because, you know, the amperage that it consumes is so high. I mean, look, obviously I can go on and on. I don't like ASIC miners. I know I show a lot of ASIC miners and I review them, and they're okay and they have their purposes here and there, but I would love to see a lot more GPU mining stuff, and that was my big appeal to Ethereum and the whole ASIC resistance stance in the freaking beginning. All right, deep breath. You know, I mean, you can tell I'm passionate about this stuff, you know, for whatever that's worth to you. There's this article by Hudson Jameson, and he's one of the Ethereum developers. He leads some of the dev calls and stuff like that. He has a nice write-up here on ProgPoW. Links to everything I'm showing you guys in the video description below. You can do some more research and look into it yourself. I don't want to seem like I'm coming off too fired up or too passionate, or, well, I don't really care. Now, this is how I feel. But I hope you understand that if you're watching this and you're if you're a proponent of ProgPoW, if you're against it, right? Then I want you to understand that this isn't just because like I have a couple of GPU miners. I really don't even have like a ton of GPUs anymore. And what I am passionate about is just a cryptocurrency that's approachable from a grassroots point of view. But anyway, ProgPoW, it's a new proof of work algorithm designed to replace Ethash that utilizes almost all parts of the commodity of the GPUs. Okay, so here's the deal with ProgPoW. It came about, you know, earliest note of it being included in any kind of Ethereum talks was meeting number 38, May 18th, 2018. So by the time we even potentially get this into Ethereum, at this point, it's going to be about 2 years later. That's astonishing and really disappointing, and I'll just leave it at that, okay? ProgPoW is a bargaining chip to miners. They were deciding to reduce the issuance, they were deciding on the issuance reduction in the IEPs, and that's Ethereum Improvement Proposal. Basically, IEPs come through, hey, we want to do this. Everyone says, okay, yeah, sounds good. And then they change Ethereum. It's the whole like upgrade, improve it, adding code, deleting code, and just developing their blockchain, basically. And one of the conceptions there was that they're going to reduce the issuance of Ethereum, which means that less Ethereum is going to be mined every day, right? But we're going to move to ProgPoW, so GPUs still stand a better chance against all of the ASIC miners that we're rolling out. And an ASIC miner is vastly more efficient than a GPU mining rig. It's just the name of the game here. The whole point of ProgPoW, developed by Christy Ogata Girl and If-Def-Else, that whole group, is trying to close the gap between GPUs and ASICs and make a level playing field, as they like to say all the time. I'll come back to that more. So ProgPoW was tentatively accepted pending an audit during meeting number 52, January 4th, 2019. The main concern raised by the least authority audit was the modified design of the CAC function in the algorithm. So let's look at that. Okay, so basically, If-Def-Else replied to this, and they basically say that it doesn't matter. They don't add any padding, but it has no way in effect to the cryptographic properties of CAC. I think I always say that wrong, but whatever. Padding exists to make sure different variants don't produce the same results, but we do not actually ever care about the results. So basically, the only issue they found apparently does not even matter. If you've been following ProgPoW recently, there's been tons of debates on Twitter. Vitalik, which is basically like the face creator of Ethereum, said he's indifferent to it. He's not against it. He's not for it. Okay, Zinzu over here is saying his personal 2 cents. ProgPoW is a nuke to ASICs, and ideally they don't drop it. Good to have it developed and ready. No need to deploy it until ASIC threatens the network security. And he's saying if no ASIC, we do nothing. ASICs go big. We hard fork ProgPoW. Okay, but here's the deal: they've been running a lot of numbers recently, and there is a 35 to 42% hash rate belonging to E3s, and the A10s. While being a consumer miner, you probably haven't seen as many of them, not as readily available. These things flew off like nothing else to big mining farms because they're super profitable. and they're super efficient, compared to most gear, and they're mining Ethereum, something people can be very bullish on, especially long term. That's crazy. So let's just take a step back and realize this. So if this is true, say 40% or even 33% of the hash rate belongs to E3s. If 1/3 of the network is just a specific Ethash ASIC miner, ASICs already went big. That's the issue. There's so much opposition to ProgPoW, it's just freaking weird. Okay, here's an IEP or EIP, and what this is just a bunch of people apparently saying that they don't like ProgPoW, they're against it, and whatever. So basically, if you're a miner and you see this stuff, you see any one of these people, maybe consider don't supporting these projects that they're associated with. I mean, I'm not trying to like throw a bunch of hate or create a bigger divide, but at the end of the day, if people don't support you, and in my opinion, decentralization more so, I mean, not really my kind of party, if you know what I mean. There's been a lot of debates, a lot of places about ASIC versus GPU mining and ProgPoW versus non-ProgPoW and whatever. And here's like a really good comment I found by Adam Skrozowski. I can't say his name right. And it's why Ethereum should bother about protection of the ASIC miners why, let me phrase it. Why should Ethereum bother about protecting ASIC miners' investments? The whole point of Ethash was to prevent ASIC in the first place. And then you have this guy, and I get so sick of hearing this. What many people bought ASICs are totally innocent non-computer scientists who believe in Ethereum, and unnecessarily harming them is bad in his opinion. And here's the thing. If you buy gear for a coin that was resistant to said gear, and then that gear ends up not working, I mean, that's a huge risk you took. If you buy GPUs to mine Ethereum when that was always the case in the original intended goal, and those no longer work, then actually I think you have a case to be upset. And that's kind of why all the GPU miners have thus ended up being upset. Didn't help that like all this stuff kind of happened as all the prices came crashing down. That's kind of like insult to injury, and it's just really disappointing the way all of this has gone. I just kind of want to put this out here. It's a big thing right now. You got to start talking really everywhere if you want this stuff to happen, or if you don't want it to happen, and like why do you not want this to happen? Because here's my opinion on ProgPoW, because I've talked all about this and that, and clearly I'm for GPU mining, but like to what extent? And in my opinion, I don't even love ProgPoW. I just like it, okay? It says it levels the playing field. So don't think that ProgPoW is ASIC resistant. It's a better solution than just straight ASICs, and that's what Ethash is now, okay? But if you're gonna be ASIC resistant, I'd like to see a algorithm that utilizes all the best parts of a GPU and would be inefficient by an ASIC miner. So it would be ASIC resistant. If you want to learn more about ASIC miners and also Ethereum miners, I really invite you to reach out to Scott Offord. He's ASIC miner marketing and sales consultant specialist. Here's his number. And you can call him. Basically, he deals in bulk sales. So if you just want a couple rigs, he's not really your guy, but he's a great guy, reputable, trustworthy. And if you're looking to build, any kind of mining farm, he's going to be able to get you in the right place as far as, connecting you with people who have rigs for you. Ultimately, ASICs are going to win out again on ProgPoW. And if you don't think that, to be honest, you're just naive. I don't care what anyone says. If that wasn't the case, then how come ASICs always beat everything on everything that they do? However, can't be worse than it is. So I'm all for ProgPoW, but I'd like to see GPU POW. If you know what I mean by that, like a GPU-centric proof-of-work algorithm that actually stays GPU-centric. And I know there's FPGAs, field programmable gate arrays, and here's my thing. I'm down for different hardware and different algorithms and different coins, but I want it to stay that way. If I spend thousands of dollars on freaking mining rigs, I want to know that they're still going to be able to work. Profitability is one thing. Like, if the coin goes up and down and the coin crashes and makes something not profitable, that sucks. Took the risk, took the L. But if nothing else changed and I'm, being led under the impression that this gear is going to be good, and when I say good, I mean just, efficient, the right hardware for this stuff, and then you say, oh no, like go ahead and bring those in, and they completely ruin just all the time you spent learning how to use this stuff, build it, set it up, figuring out what the best parts were, fine-tuning your rig, and just completely ruin all the time, money, and effort you spent. That's the worst freaking feeling. So anyway, guys, I could go on and on, but this is pretty much a summary of the video. At the end of the day, anyway, I mean, unless you're blind, if Ethereum was just GPU mined, it would be a resurgence in GPU mining, period. I mean, Ethereum, if you forgot or weren't here or didn't know, Ethereum led the GPU mining, you know, revolution, golden, like second golden era, whatever, of 2016 leading into 2017 and then crumbling apart in 2018. Oh, about the same time that Bitmain was kicking on all their Ethereum ASIC miners. And you know, that's just a public company. What about all the other private entities? There's millions in crypto, okay? Don't think everything doesn't go on behind the scenes. So whatever, I'll keep going. You guys are awesome. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the VoskCoin YouTube channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one.